So this is take two of the introduction to a new channel, The Taco Trainer. My name is Dave. I am the Taco Trainer. I attempt to be the Taco Trainer. I shot this video yesterday, and I thought I would do it again because I was a bit, after watching it, I was a bit edgy and a little angry yesterday. And the reason for that is you never want to shoot a video after talking to your cell phone carrier. You never want to do that. It didn't go right. I was on the phone for like 5 hours. It was a disaster. I was really upset. And I think that kind of came out in my demeanor and the tone and everything just wasn't where I wanted it to be. So I decided to shoot it again to give you the nicer, gentler version of the Taco Trainer. But I don't know, maybe that's a thing. Maybe that could be a thing. I mean, I'm new to that, so maybe everybody would like to see an edgier version of a Taco Trainer. Probably get 1 million views in 2 days if I just kicked around a bunch of stuff while I'm working out because it's different and unusual and weird. Probably not going to do that. A little bit of edginess will probably come out because that tends to be my personality. But from yesterday, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to scare away everybody with the first video. Not a good look. So this is the second attempt, the only other attempt I'm going to make regarding the startup of this channel. I went back and forth for months, whether I should do it, shouldn't do it. The family really pushed me to do it. They think I have a lot to offer. I've been doing this for a very long time, since I was like 9 years old, which takes us back to 1976. After having watched a certain movie, you can guess what that was. That got me started. And so all these many years later, I've acquired a bunch of knowledge over those years that I could pass on to people to help them in their fitness journey. But it's something that I hesitated to do because it's a space that is very crowded, and didn't see the need for another one. So I decided initially not to do it. Not going to do it. Not needed. But then I heard a YouTuber and get into it with somebody was commenting about, I believe it was Jeff Cavalier, and they went back and forth about what they thought about him, and the commenter didn't like him, and he gave various ridiculous reasons that I didn't agree with either. But the YouTuber wound up saying, well, since you're so extensive in knowledge, why don't you start your own YouTube channel? Because it would be worth it if you could help just one person. So I thought that's true. If one person can be helped, then why not do it? Why not start it up and see how it goes? So that's the reason for the video. That's the reason for the launch. That's the reason for the startup. We're going to see how this thing progresses, how it goes over, I don't know, the next upcoming weeks. And you guys are going to determine largely how it goes. Whether my family is correct or whether my hesitancy proved to be correct. I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to get going with it. And let me give you just a little bit about well, myself. Like I said, I started when I was really young after having watched a certain movie. And you can guess what that is. See if you guys get it right. Shouldn't be too hard. Shouldn't take too long. 1976. Don't look it up on your phone. That's cheating. Be genuine in that and just see if you can get it right. And that's what started. And self-taught, read a lot of material over the years, talked to a lot of people in the industry, out of the industry, watched a lot of things on YouTube. Even before there was YouTube, you could actually rent videotapes and watch stuff on that, and that happened too. So just gathering a bunch of information over the years, talking to a bunch of people, and so I've learned a thing or two. You can amass quite a bit of knowledge on the subject in that period of time. I've tried to stay consistent over that period of time. Probably about a 2 to 3 year window in there where I didn't do quite as much because of traveling and other things that we did as a family. But I tried to stay consistent with that, and not necessarily nutritionally over that period of time, but kind of dialed that in a little bit more over the past few years. So been doing it a while, and the way I want to run this channel is I don't want to be typical. I hesitated because when I think of other YouTube channels, I must have watched hundreds of hours of YouTubers over the past several months, and everybody's got, you know, their decked out lights and the studio environment, and they got perfect camera angles, and the lighting hits them just right, and the striations and the muscle tone is on point because everybody's got their shirt off, and you know, that's the way it goes. And the music is awesome, intro, outro music. And I was like, well, I don't have any of that. And so why would I do this if I'm not going to have that? But I started to realize you don't need all that stuff. I mean, a lot of what we see on YouTube isn't really the genuine article. Guys are flexing the whole time, have a pump going, the lighting's perfect, they're sweating. But when the camera shuts off and the pump goes away and they get into natural light and they're not flexing anymore, they look a lot different. Well, I want to try to be as genuine as I can in this channel and not do all of that to give you false impressions of what I really am versus what I really am not. The content I'm going to put out training-wise is going to take place here, right here in my garage. This is my gym, and I'll show you what I've got. Is it a decked-out gym? No, it is not. I don't have the full 500 to 100-pound dumbbell rack. If somebody wants to donate that in the future, I promise I will not reject it, and I'll give you full credit for it. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's probably not going to happen for quite a while, so or ever. So what I have is fine for me. It works. You don't need a lot. You don't have to have all of that fancy stuff. That hey, it's great if you have it, but if you don't need it. To build muscle, to make gains, to achieve your goals, you need very little, even just your body weight, if that's all you have, and you can make a lot of strides insofar as your goals are concerned. So I'll show you what I have in another video, but yes, it's going to take place training right here. Most of it will move indoors when things get a little bit difficult weather-wise, and I'll show you what I do inside. Even when the weather's good, I'll show you what I do inside, because I know some of you don't have a lot of equipment and you do work out indoors, and you want to know some things that you can do indoors to build muscle. And so I'll show you some of the things that I do when we have to move in there. The content that I put out with weight training is good. I'm going to put a lot of thought into it. I don't want to just put out content for the sake of putting out content, you know, without explaining what I'm doing and why I do it. I'll always try to do that. I find very little benefit in watching videos that are silent. They just do the exercise, but there's no explanation as to why you're doing it or why you're not doing something versus what you are doing. I think all that is important to know, especially if you are going to pursue some sort of a program that you want to get results from. So I'm going to try to be thorough, try to explain what I'm doing, and hopefully you can benefit from that. So that's going to take place here. That's the training part of it. I don't have a cable machine, like I said, or any of that. I have something that I put together with the help of a neighbor on my wall that substitutes for cable machine, and I use a lot of bands in my training, and they're very effective if you know what to do and how to use them. You can really, really torch your muscles with a good set of bands if that's all you have. And so we'll use a lot of those things. Body weight stuff, of course, weights, free weights, got about 300 pounds of free weights. That's all I need. You might need more, so use what you've got. If you don't have anything but one pair of dumbbells, that's all you need. I'll show you what you can do with just one pair, because it's not how much you're lifting necessarily versus how you're lifting what you do have. So you want to be effective in lifting the weights that you have. And when I was young, of course, like all of us, ego ruled the day. So everything I did was motivated by ego. It wasn't how I lifted something, but that I could lift something. So I didn't want to be the guy that was lifting 30-pound dumbbells when the guys over here are lifting 80-pound dumbbells. So I did everything I could to make sure that I was at that level. And so, you know, I could curl 165 pounds, which to me is a lot of weight back then. And I got it up. I mean, I practically launched myself across the room, rocking it up, but I got it up, and that's all that mattered back then. It's just, you know, lifting as much as you could. But things have changed now, and hopefully for the better. Learned a lot of things that you should do and correctly, how to do things correctly over the years, because I did so many things in a very bad way when I was younger, not caring about doing things right or scientifically, and I suffered injury as a result of that. So hopefully you can learn from that and avoid those pitfalls that are motivated by ego, because you don't want that. You want to stay in the game. You want longevity, and so you want to do things right. You want to be safe, and so I'll be dedicated to keeping you safe, keeping you healthy, and keeping you in the gym, and making the gains that you hope to achieve. Kitchen-wise, which is the taco part, which is the nutrition part, is going to take place on really the other side of that wall, because that's where our kitchen is. And yes, I'm called the taco trainer because I make a lot of them. And from friends and family, I've been told they're pretty good. So you might enjoy those. You might be asking, what does a taco have to do with nutrition? Well, it depends on how you make the taco. Yes, my tacos, some of them have cheese. They have a creamy sauce to them. And why? Well, because that's what makes tacos delicious. And they're enjoyable. And if you can't do what you enjoy, or if you're not enjoying what you're doing, how long do you think you're going to stick with it? Both in nutrition and in training, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you just flat out will not continue to do it. So that's why so many people start and stop, because they wind up hating what they're doing, or not enjoying what they're doing, they're getting hurt over what they're doing because they're not doing things right. Either way, you've got to enjoy what it is you're doing if you're going to keep doing it, if you're going to stay in the game for the long haul. So when it comes to the nutrition part and the taco making part, yes, there's a lot to that. A lot of tacos I'm going to make. So you've got to modify. You're going to want to do that if your goal in body fat is low. If it's 6 to 8%, you're probably going to forego the cheese and the sauce and probably the tortilla that goes along with it, and just put in the peppers, the vegetables, and the meat. And can that be good? Yes, it can be good, but you're going to sacrifice some of the flavor, some of the texture, and really not going to be called a taco at that point. But anyway, if your body fat level goals are that low, that you're going to have to sacrifice a lot more than if they're not. Well, my body fat level goals are not that high. They're more around 15%, sometimes a little more. I mean, I hover a little over that, especially right now. I have way too much sugar in the last 3 months. Trying to pull back on that because it just went crazy with some of that stuff. But what we're going to do all that in the kitchen, and not just tacos. I eat other stuff, I promise. I can't just eat tacos every day. Well, I actually probably could, but I'm not going to do that. I'll show you some of my go-to meals that help me stay lean, and you guys might enjoy and might want to take some of that up for yourself. So we'll do that, have some fun in the kitchen, and that's part of why I wanted to do it that way. I didn't want to do just another typical fitness channel that just does fitness over and over and over again. To me, it's boring. It's not. I mean, everybody does that. So I wanted to provide something a little bit different, and so work hard in the gym, have a little bit of fun in the kitchen, and we'll go from there. And hopefully I can make your training a little bit more effective and your eating a little bit more enjoyable. And if I can do that, then even for one person, hopefully more, but then I've accomplished my goal with the channel. So if you guys are interested in that, and you want to make the channel go, I'll be happy to continue to provide content, and as much as you guys want to see, I'll be happy to produce more content. There's a lot. There's a lot that I have percolating up there that I can do for you guys. Just let me know what you want to see in the comments. Let me know what you think, and I'll try to do my best to accommodate those comments and answer comments as much as I can, unless there's just an overwhelming amount I can't get to them all. So that's it, guys. I hope I covered everything. Don't want to be typical. Probably already gathered. I'm not going to be typical. Be straight up with you guys, honest as much as I can, and try to be as genuine as I can, explaining everything that I'm doing, and Don't want to get too much into shorts and everything like that with the videos because I want to be a little bit more detailed than what a short can give you. But who knows? I mean, we might do some of that. It just initially we're going to start with training something that I think is even more important than getting to the physical aspect, and that's the mental aspect. If you don't have yourself mentally straight when you approach training, then you will inevitably wind up failing. You'll wind up quitting because you have to understand going into any type of training that involves building muscle that there's going to be a fair amount of pain involved and discomfort, and you've got to be prepared mentally. And so we have to go over that and discuss that before we get going with the workouts and the training part of it. So we'll start that next time, and then we'll get right into it. We'll launch right into something I do with chest, and we'll get to legs and all kinds of fun stuff. But be prepared. I'm going to work you hard. It's not going to be easy, but really anything in life that's valuable and worth having is not going to come easy. So getting in shape is not fun, especially when you start burning fat, getting your calorie deficit under control, and making sure you're consistent, and all of that is difficult. But it can be done. And if you do it, I promise I can get you the results that you're after. I know there are a lot of other guys on YouTube that are after the same goals, and if they are, I'm with them. I'm not against anybody that's after the same thing, helping people stay safe, stay strong, stay consistent, stay in the gym, and just overall improve their fitness. So that's it, guys. I think I already said that. Let me know what you think, and stay strong, stay consistent, and yeah, go work hard and tear it up in the gym. We'll talk to you next time. Right here would be the cool outro music, which I'm still working on, but for now it's going to involve an awkward moment where I reach and I hit stop. Take care, guys.